Hey guys, welcome back. So I want to teach you a uniform 90-degree haircut today. And I'm going to try a couple different techniques as well and different things. I want to cut the haircut two different ways. We've talked about sectioning. I'm going to cut half of the head using this type of sectioning. I'm going to cut the other side of the head using this manner of sectioning. So you can choose which works better for you. I'm all about giving people choices. I think there's a lot of different ways to create things, and I just want to point that out to you. So one way may be better for you, one may not be. So a uniform layered haircut never looks great on Deborah. It's kind of a little ball. Basically, a uniform 90-degree haircut means the hair is all the same length. So see this doll here? This is also a 90-degree haircut, but it is not a uniform 90-degree haircut because there are different lengths. We've changed finger angles. We've done different things. So not all 90-degree haircuts are uniform. You will be cutting a 90-degree uniform haircut at State Board. This is not exactly how Donna's going to instruct you to do that. So just be aware of that. I'm really not going to start with a ton of perimeters like I normally do today. I'm going to kind of experiment with this as I go along and hope it works and all that. So up here on our board, a 90-degree haircut means that every hair is held straight out from the head, or known as the planes of the head, according to Chris Barron. Notice when I lay my comb on the head, it rocks off at different degrees. So about every inch, the head changes shape. It also changes shape this way as well. We will not have any over direction, so the hair will come out from its natural fall. We will elevate it up at 90. We will also keep our finger angle parallel with the head. So we create that rounded shape where none of the hair gets longer than the other hair. So all those are important. The left side of the head, we're going to use that sectioning. The right side of the head, we're going to use that sectioning. You will find some hair cutters start in center back, work side to side. You will find other cutters work all the way around. This all depends on you as a cutter. And so I want to teach you just like different things today and give you different perspective of holding the hair. There isn't a right, there isn't really a wrong. Being consistent is huge. I will say that. So I shampooed and conditioned my doll, or my customer here. I'm laying her into the natural fall of the head. So what I'm gonna do is create a mohawk section down the middle. This will be my internal guide. We're using traveling guides and internal guides. So I'm gonna basically use my comb, and I'm gonna comb out a section front to back about the width of a comb. And I will say this, consistent moisture is huge. You see that? There we go. I'm also not going to need anything in front of the ears, so I'm going to go ahead and just take that hair, clip it out of the way. Take this hair, clip it out of the way. And I'm going to clip this out of the way, just more for anything else for you to be able to see what's going on. So I'm going to take what we'd normally take as the bangs or the fringe. And this is going to establish my length in the haircut. Now this is a great way to create a pixie. It's very symmetrical. Needless to say, if we're doing a comb side part, we may not do this way. But I'm going to create my basic guide. So this is going to be a short haircut for Deborah. See how this goes. So I'm creating my overall length. There we go. Pretty much at the bangs. That's the only problem with little Deborah. She once you get her short, she kind of stands up. So I am going to turn this sideways where you can see. I'm going to hold this section now up at 90 degrees. Notice how the head curves around this way. That's why it's at 90. I'm going to take a little baby section of that section, so I have a guide, part out another inch of hair, because that's where the head shape is turning. And I'm going to comb up so all the hairs are going the same. So you have this guide right here. I'm going to put this down. There's my guide. And I don't want to take huge sections because the head is changing shape. If I take a big section, the back is going to be longer. See here? Got even tension. My guide is right there. Got some hair from where I don't want it. There we go. 90 degrees to the head shape, so that's straight up. We've got our guide right there. Can you see it? There. By the way, we take our scissors to the guide. We don't take the guide up to the scissors. And the reason I say that is sometimes we slide past our guide because we go up to where we're holding the shears. I'm making sure my hands are parallel with the head shape and not doing that, okay? Here's a huge issue space, especially around the parietal. When we grab this huge amount of hair and cut that, because it looks like it's 90, first of all, this hair is coming up, but because of the round head shape, right in here, we get a shorter piece of hair. So when we're taking hair from here to here, more than an inch, we end up cutting a short piece right about here. And if you do that all the way around the parietal for a short haircut, you will have a little divot or a little trench. So as we walk back on this head, I want you to be really careful and mindful of that. And there's that piece I'm talking about, right there. So I'm going to lay that on the top of the head. Then I'm going to use this other piece off to the side. Now, notice the head shape is 90 going this way. Now I can cut my hair on the top of my fingers if I want to. There's nothing wrong with that. Or I can cut it palm to palm. Totally your call. So I'm either able to cut the hair this way, or I can cut the hair this way. Okay, that's up to you. That's your body mechanics. If you're standing off, if you're standing over here cutting, make sure you're coming this way. Don't pull it either way. I will say if you are on palm to palm, you do tend to pull it more towards you, which is the correct way. And I want to make sure, or I'm not combing my hair out of over direction into over direction. I'm combing it on both sides. Notice here, there will be a point where the head tucks under the head shape. So this is the biggest problem we have in men's haircuts, is we don't elevate the hair correctly to the head shape on a men's haircut. See how that's now going under? And I've almost got, basically have a diagonal line. A lot of times with some haircuts, we want to hold them straight up like that, but that will make the bottom hair in the occipital or nape too long. And I'm just checking my hair is the same length. So on this side of the head, we have our little guide there. I'm going to go around the head and elevate at 90 around the head this way, going in vertical long partings. So I'm going to basically do what I call walking the dog. So I'm walking the hair up the head. Okay? So all the hair here in center has been cut. So this is my guide. There's a guide on each side of center. So there is my guide. I'm going to pick up the next section. There we go. I'm going to take a parting. I'm going to get this out of the way because I don't need to cut this. Get this out of the way. I can either start at the bottom or I can start at the top. I'm going to choose to start at the bottom. I'm going to elevate my hair at 90 here at the occipital. You can see if I comb my hair around, you can see that. This hair's in my way, so I'm going to move it out of the way. I'm going to see where 90 degrees is to my head. There we go. "90 degrees. There we go. Up. And up. And one more. If you don't need to cut it, which you don't, leave it alone. Taking a parting again, and you take as small a pieces as you want. I have some cutter friends that start like this, and they start down at 90. See how my hand's wrapping around the head shape? They will take the hair, they're still cutting on the tops of their fingers versus palm to palm. Look at there. Look at there. Turning it. I'm not taking huge pieces because I got to see where I am on the head. There are other people that will start at the top and work down. That's up to you. So I tend to like to start more at the bottom. And I'll do the palm to palm method this time. Turn the girl. See your guide? It's right there. Can you see that? Hopefully. And I'm standing behind this section. Double checking on my elevation. There we go. There's my guide. There's better mechanics than doing this. You'll notice by the time you get to the top of the head, you're going to have to be on top of your fingers. I went past my guide. I can feel the difference. It started getting longer. Do figure out a battle plan. Here's something that I learned a long time ago. I cut some hair here, cut some hair here, cut some here, cut some here. All of a sudden I had 5 guides. Someone taught me always to go in a methodical order. So this order this time is from center back all the way around to the side, instead of hopscotching around the head. By this point, we don't have any hair here, right? So my 90 degrees is straight out from the head. See, there's really not any hair there. I'm going to stand behind this section and hold it out. And unfortunately, between me originally wetting her and shampooing her and then doing the board and all that, she's dried out a little bit. There we go. There's your guide. Oh my God, that's so much hair. And then we're going to take the hair up. And see, there's just that little going with the curve of the head. Notice I did not take this big, huge section all the way across. And yes, sometimes you will have to recut what the customer's hair as you work around. I've got this out of the way. And then walking it up. The Jennifer Aniston one was basically done starting in the front, walking the dog up all the way around, by the way. And we'll do that haircut with you guys. Remember, the head pivots forward. Oop, too big a section. I can't find my guide. If you can't find your guide, take a smaller piece. There it is. Nothing to cut. See how I took that up? Nuh-uh-uh. That's not 90 degrees. That is 90 degrees from right there. Remember, I'm following my head shape. My finger angle is parallel to the head shape. I missed a piece. Right over here, it looks like I missed a piece. Yes, I did. There it is. There we go. Cute little pixie. There we go. So now there's another way you could have done this. So I'm going to do this on this side and show you this other version. So this is totally up to you. So again, I'm going to take the front from the back. And I'm going to break the head up a little differently this time. So I want to know where I am. I can't, the walk the dog thing, I can't tell where I am on the head. Okay? And this is the way I do a lot of haircuts as well. So it's totally up to you. I use the walk the dog on longer ones, on shorter ones, I use this. So, again, I have my guide. I'm just cutting the hair in the occipital, or nape. So, I'm gonna put my comb flat to the head, bring it out at 90. I've got my guide. There we go. I'm cutting palm to palm. I'm moving over, taking another little piece, a vertical piece of my occipital, holding it at 90. Notice when I'm on the side, my fingers are going up. If I was standing on your side, my fingers would be going downhill. going with the natural fall of the hair. If I were wanting to create a shattered, kind of more feathery cut in this area, I would over direct it back. But since this is uniformed, I am not doing that. And there is no over direction in this haircut. So again, I'm not doing that. But still, see how that's different than this? Can you tell a difference? No, not really. Now, I'm going to do everything that's underneath the parietal ridge. Comb that out. Combed out my parietal. Okay. So the head shape is predominantly flat right here, or not as curved. So I'm going to come around, and basically my hair is going to come out at straight graduation. Since I cut that one on top of my hand, I'm going to do this one more palm to palm. So if I don't have really long fingers and this is too big a section, take that out of the way. There we go. My occipital piece is my guide right there, and I also have my guide right here. If it's easier, gosh, all these choices. If it's easier, start at the top. And come on down. So you have these choices. The main choice in my consistency has been my partings and my finger angle. That way I don't get, so I've cut it different ways on top. This way, I've started on top, worked down, I've worked bottom up. I've given you all these choices, but I don't feel like I've got a really lumpy, bumpy haircut. It's pretty consistent. It just is giving you choices because, again, we've kept consistent partings. We've kept consistent finger angles. And I'm combing where you cannot see for the life of you. So I'll turn around this way. See, this hair has been cut, so I'm good. So here's my next piece I need to cut. Get that out of your way where you can see, and also we're not cutting. You can see it's been cut down here. Walking it up. I'm pulling it straight out from the natural fall. If you need, double check your length. I can check it horizontally. Obviously, I got a little point right there. You can tell where I haven't cut. So if I've cut it vertically, I'm going to check it horizontally. Here we go. There's my, see my guide? It's right there. Again, at this point of the head, there is no lower elevation. There's no hair here, so it comes straight out from the head. There it is. My finger angle is, I want it to be parallel with the head. So if I'm tipping out this way, my haircut will get longer, and I don't want it to be longer. That's too much hair. I don't see my guide. There it is. Okay, now I've got this top. So we're gonna approach this like we did with the other haircut on using a pivoting section. So there's my pivot, there's 6 o'clock. There's nothing to cut because I've cut that in my guide. I'm going to turn around. What I want to make sure I don't do is I want to hold this hair out . So I'm going to pull the hair out to straight graduation. But that leaves the top too long. Then I will take that and elevate that at 90, and now I've just got that little section that we talked about where I don't create a divot. And now I'm going to go up at 90. That just covers myself a little bit. Something I learned a long time ago. You can always cut some more hair off. So, straight graduation, which is not, it's 90 here, and then walk up, and that gets your little piece. So I basically have two guides. I have one on this side, one on this side. Don't want to spray my guest in the face. See how I can see I've got something going on right there. Right there. I think that's 11 o'clock. Oh, there it is. I'm going to go in. Just balance out that shape. And now we have a uniform layered haircut on Deborah. A little shagalicious. Not shagalicious, but little pixie. Do I have the same length? Let's see. Doesn't feel long. I'd say I'm not even looking. If it feels longer on one side than the other, it is. So with a little bit of blow drying, maybe I cut the bangs a little short, but Deborah's hair always lays different. So here's some homework for you. Okay, so we've been working on chapter 16. That's all the haircuts, all that good stuff. So what I'd like for you guys to do is take your homework, take some photographs of your homework. I want you to email it to me at glam, G-L-A-M, 1956 at gmail.com. So email your homework to me so I can give you 2 grades, one for vocabulary, one for questions. I need to get some grades in the system for you guys to keep financial aid. So also now we're going to start on chapter 17. So on Monday, I'll start on 17. So start doing your questions and vocab for that. I'll give you a week to do that. Also, I would love for you to log on to Barbicide. If you go to Google, go to Barbicide Certification. Get your Barbicide certification done. And you can email me that certificate as well for a grade. I just did it as well because I'm a teacher and I have to be certified before we open the school. So anyways, it took me all of 30 minutes. It is not rocket science. Just read and then you take a little test and they grade you. And we will be going over chapter 5, which is sanitation and disinfection, so you'll get that as well. But go to Barbicide, learn how to use their product to sanitize disinfect, and it won't sterilize, but they do talk about sterilization. So there's 3 homework assignments for you. You can photograph them, send them, email them to glam1956@gmail.com, or if you're an Instagrammer, go to glam1956 and follow me on Instagram, and then you can message me on Instagram and all that with your homework assignments. So just take some pictures of them where I can see you've done your homework and all that good stuff and get you some grades, because I wanted to keep you guys going. Hopefully all these haircuts have been informative and all that. This is actually lots cuter on a person than little Deborah here, but that gives you 2 or 3 different techniques of doing a 90-degree uniform haircut. Teaches about sectioning, all that good stuff. Thank you. I so appreciate. You have a good weekend, and I will see you again on Monday. Bye.